So in this video, we're going to start to look at how to factorize a quadratic. Now, I really want you to understand the explanation behind this. So let's just start with the opposite process, which is expanding. So let's look at a typical example, okay? X plus 2, x plus 1. Now, if I was to expand that, and that is the concept explored in another video, I'm going to get an x squared plus 3x and a plus 2. Let's do another one. If I had x minus 4, x minus 5, this is going to give me an x squared, a minus 9x, and a positive 20. And let's do one more. X minus 3, x plus 6. This is going to give us an x squared, a plus 3x, and a minus 18. Now, there is a pattern between the numbers on the left-hand side in factorized form and the numbers on the right in expanded form. And the pattern is this. If I take these two numbers and I multiply them together, I'm going to get the number on the end. 2 times 1 is 2. Minus 4 times minus 5 is positive 20. Minus 3 times 6 is minus 18. So that is an important point to just make a note of. The second thing to note is that when you take those two numbers on the left and you add them, you get that middle term, the coefficient of x. So 2 plus a 1 is a 3. Minus 4 added to a minus 5 is a minus 9. Minus 3 plus 6 is positive 3. So we're going to be using this to work backwards to help us factorize. Because if I have an expression which is in this form, I know that I need to have two numbers that are going to multiply to make the number on the end, the 2, and are going to add to make the 3. Let's take a look then and see if we can do this question. So we're asked to factorize x squared plus 9x plus 20. So we are thinking about two numbers that are going to multiply to make 20 and are going to add to make 9. Now, I already know that we're going to have this situation. We're going to have a factorization where we have x's at the beginning there. It's just about these two numbers. This process only works when I have no number in front of that x squared. It's just a 1x squared. So what are those two numbers? Well, they are going to be 4 and 5. So we're going to write x plus 4 and x plus 5 here, and that works, okay? If I was to expand that, I would get x squared plus 9x plus 20. 4 plus 5 is 9. 4 times 5 is 20. Let's try another one. Okay, so this time we've got the same situation. We're factorizing. We've just got an x squared, so we can jump straight into this part. All we've got to do is think about what two numbers multiply to make minus 10 and add to make minus 3. Now, if you're struggling to think of those two numbers, start thinking about the numbers that multiply to make minus 10. So 10 could only be really 1 and 10 and 2 and 5. So it's some combination. One of them's got to be negative. One's got to be positive. It's the only way we're going to make a negative. And look, they've got to add to minus 3. And by thinking about it in those terms, we're going to jump in to the 2 and the 5. It is going to have to be a positive 2 and a negative 5. They're going to multiply to make minus 10. They're going to add to make minus 3. Okay, so let's just do one more of these. So again, we've got no number in front of the x squared, so that means we can jump straight to this. We're looking to think what two numbers multiply to make a positive 6 and add to make a minus 5. Well, the only way we're going to add to make a negative and multiply to make a positive is if we have two negative numbers. And it's going to have to be minus 2 and minus 3. They are going to multiply to make a positive 6 and add to make a negative 5. So there is our factorization completed. Okay, I hope that helps you to see the patterns there and to be able to factorize a quadratic where you've got a leading coefficient of 1.